Moondog here. We're at the range today and we're going to compare CCI Standard versus Norma Tac-22. Now, Norma is a Swedish company, but this is put out by their US branch, Norma USA, but the ammo is actually made by RWS in Germany. So yeah, a bit of a mix there. So we're going to see which shoots best from 100 yards in my Ruger Precision Rimfire. The American or the multinational? For this budget ammo test, we're going to be using essentially a budget build. This is a Discovery Optics LHD, which is an 8-32 power first focal plane scope with a street price just under $250. And this is atop a Ruger Precision Rimfire, which has a factory trigger, barrel, and action, and a street price of about $500. First up, we have CCI Standard, which many regard to be good enough to be club or match grade ammo. It is a 40 grain lead round nose with a stated muzzle velocity of 1,070 feet per second on the box. Alright, so I've zeroed out the scope for CCI Standard velocity at 100 yards, and we're going to get started. I'm going to shoot 5 rounds into each of the corner targets, so a total of 20 rounds. And you know what? I'm going to shoot one shot off of target, just so that we don't end up with a cold bore shot. Let's get started. Not bad. All right, let's move over to top right corner target. That's a bit of a flyer. Ooh. That one's also out there. One mag down. Let's go to the bottom right, continuing on in a clockwise formation. Left. Final corner target. Before testing the previous ammo and the next ammo, I ran a bore brush through the barrel twice so that both ammos would be tested with an equivalent amount of fouling. Next up, we have Norma Tac-22. Norma is a Swedish company, but the head stamp on the rim says RWS, which is German. In any case, it is a 40-grain lead round nose with a stated velocity of 1,083 feet per second. Alright, first diamond done. Rotating to our top right. First mag through. Okay, clockwise, bottom right now. Now our last diamond. Now this is really not consistent. Now it's shooting high. At least it's all on the diamond so far. Yeah. Alright, before we get into the results, I'd just like to recognize this episode's sponsor, Aura. They're an online cybersecurity company that I use. I get $1 million of identity theft insurance, VPN, spam blockers, fraud alerts, credit monitoring, all for a low monthly fee. And they've gotten me off of data broker lists. Those are companies that buy and sell our personal information, our name, our address, our social security numbers, our date of birth. Yes, these companies have them and they sell them to who knows who, but you can get off these lists using Aura. Use my link, aura.com/moondog, and you can try them out for free for 14 days. No kidding. Use my link and let me know how it works for you. Leave a comment. All right. Let's get back to the video. We have CCI on the left and Norma Tac-22 on the right. I took photos of each of the targets and ran them through my Range Buddy app, and it calculated an average group size of 1.77 inches and a mean radius of 0.63 MOA for CCI Standard. Norma Tac-22 had more flyers, especially on that first target, and this resulted in an average group size of 3.24 inches, nearly double the size of CCI's groups, and a mean radius of 1.08 MOA. With the Tac-22, it did seem like the groups improved as the test progressed, especially with that last target, and one might be tempted to think that you need to season the barrel with at least 15 rounds before it shoots properly, but I don't think so. If you notice all the holes in the black part of this target, that's how many shots it took to zero out the scope to Norma Tac-22. That's how inconsistent it was shooting through this rifle. And that also means this barrel got plenty of seasoning of Norma wax before I started this test. So that's the results. Did it surprise you? Now, Norma Tac-22 did pretty well towards the end of the run, and you might think that it's because you need to season the barrel. Well, yeah, except that I actually did season the barrel. It took me about 20 rounds to zero out the scope for this particular ammo. So that's a good amount of seasoning of wax of that barrel before I even got started with this test. So yeah, not very consistent. But some people have very good results with it. You know, every rifle is different, but let me know what you think. Have you used Norma Tac-22? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell buttons. It really makes a big difference. So thanks for watching. You be safe out there. God bless. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.